Ciccone in the yellow jersey, Bilbao at 3 seconds, Vlasov himself sits at 4 after he took 2 bonus seconds in an intermediate sprint. Today we're going up to the Holy Cave, Alto de la Cueva Santo. They've been up here already once today. A final loop of 65 kilometers around the hilly region just west and north of the capital Valencia. And we're here with these riders left, trying to sort out the general classification. It's been thinned down, Brian, after a 23-man break went away. A few scares for the yellow jersey with dangerous riders up there. Trek Segafredo have it all to do, but there's plenty of other teams who can challenge. This is anybody's race.
Unfortunately, in this race, I'm going to say it, that it's been active all day, and I would have loved to have, seen line to line in this sort of kind of staged race, because, for the last few days it has been active and it's been really, really interesting and intriguing. Early on today with a huge breakaway, it's been kind of fast all day, and it's been wearing down. It's not been easy for anybody. This is half the peloton we've got left in the race. There's many riders that are well down the roads, hopefully trying to get inside the time limit. But I tell you what, this is kind of ballsy move here from Bora Hansgrohe. They are really confident, and sometimes a little bit psychological, that when they dominate this at the front, when they take a 2-second bonus, it starts to get into the head of the other riders that are up there in the general classification and puts pressure on them.
David de la Cruz on the left-hand side, just letting go. He's been in the breakaway today. 83 alongside him. Battistella also being dropped now. And 132 there of Cajarural. Fernando Barceló, who was in the break today, also losing contact. It's Bob Jongels on the right as we look at it. Matteo Fabro, the Italian climber, just behind him in the green jersey. But on the left as we look at it now, the right-hand side of the road, UAE Emirates are there. Through the centre, you've got Movistar and Ineos Grenadiers. It's a 4-way fight just for the front of the road. It's a several-way fight for the general classification, because Bahrain are approaching as well. 4.8 kilometres to go. And Bob Jongels is done for the day.
Yeah, it just means now that if you're a little bit further down in the general classification, you're not going to move up. If you weren't up there in the second stage, I very much doubt you'll be up there in this stage today. So I think if you were, like the Aaron's been looking for 56 seconds, or Soler looking for 30 seconds, I don't think that's really going to happen for anybody. It's going to come down to a kind of handful of seconds, and more importantly the bonuses, because I think this will be a very kind of small group finish, sprint at the top, just like we've seen in stage 2. I think Ciccone with the yellow jersey on has to be still one of the favourites here, because he's not had to do anything. But the same can be said about Ineos Grenadiers. If they switch around to Teo Geoghegan Hart rather than the Spanish champion Carlos Rodriguez, I think they might get some better reward.
We're just over a kilometre from the hardest ramps, and then it's consistently 7% to the finish. 2 green jerseys at the front for Bora are Fabro and Kemna. If you're looking for Vlasov, the man who's third overall at 4 seconds from the lead, he's sitting closely to the red jersey Aramburu. We know he's probably, if he reaches the finale today, the fastest finisher. And he's not far off the yellow jersey, of course, Ciccone. Vlasov, of course, wearing number 1 on his back, as we now see Ineos Grenadiers start to go to work.
Yeah, it's the rider that was in the breakaway earlier on, Omar Friley, but you have to say, Rob, that Bahrain Victorious have put off a hell of a lot of work in this race. They've ridden on the front for many of these stages. Even today they were riding again. They must be getting maybe a little bit frustrated. They're so close, aren't they? And this is going to be a big stage for them. If they don't kind of take this jersey, they'll be thinking, what do we have to do? We put so much effort in. But it's about doing it clever as well. And let's not discount some of the other riders that are up there. We've seen Uno X coming up in the yellow as well on the right hand side,
and their white
jersey just behind them. So but I have to say, I'm really interested to see what Thomas Globe does.
And just as you say that, Brian, as if on cue, the yellow and black jerseys, the Killer Bees from Jumbo Visma, appear at the front as well. Young British rider Globe is there.
Yeah, I just love the way he doesn't, reputations are there, but he just goes out there and does it. He's got Sam Allman looking after him just in front, and he's not of all the riders the other day, he was prepared to go on the attack. He was prepared yesterday to go on the attack. That's a racer, and if you're a racer, might not come off you today, but it might tomorrow or the next day keep on doing the same thing.
X with Anton Charmig there, the best young rider who began his career as a cyclocrosser in Denmark, then won a stage last year in Oman. Looking good here, the best young rider at 24 years of age, as we start the difficult section of the final climb. 7% to the line here, 3 kilometres to go.
Yes, maybe not as steep as maybe the other day, Rob, but it's not about it being steep, it's about how hard or how fast they're going to tackle this.
Caruso now to the front.
Castrovejo moving up as well. He destroyed the breakaway the other day.
He was exceptional, wasn't he? Castrovejo, the Basque rider from Ineos Grenadiers, sits in second wheel now. Theo Gegenhardt just 2 wheels behind him. Laurens de Plus is there as well, the Belgian. As Castrovejo takes over from Caruso. And this peloton thinning out all the time. Gebre'zabiher just going backwards there for Trek Sagafredo. That's 1 man less now for the yellow jersey. 2.5 kilometres to go. Castrovejo doing the same job as the other day here, Brian, just reducing the numbers in the group.
Yeah, he's very good. He complimented the other day how good he really is. You know, we have to look now at Theo Gegenhardt, who sits in front of the Spanish champion now. Behind, we can see Landa up towards the front, the yellow jersey of Ciccone, just deciding to sit back a bit. Rui Costa, another one. Not really mentioned Intermarché. Rui Costa already a winner this year in one of the Challenge Mallorca events, and plenty of confidence in that team.
And he's at just 10 seconds in 7th place in the general classification. Laurens de Plus now takes over from Castrovejo. Gegenhardt on his wheel, Dem Rodriguez. Rui Costa, you just mentioned, in about 6th or 7th wheel at the moment, in the white navy and fluorescent yellow jersey. Belongs to Intermarché. Sitting just in front of Anton Charmig. The race leader sits much further back, doesn't he? He's not far from Aramburu in the red or Vlasov in the green. Well down here, about 20 riders back, Brian, with just 2 kilometres to go.
Yeah, looking at that, might have been the fact that he didn't have the team mates left or with the power to put him in a position, but surely they knew when Castrovejo went to the front that was the time to be there. But you know, looking good for Ineos Grenadiers for the moment. Also, you have to say Bahrain victorious, but you know, the distance you have to make up if you're just out of position is going to be immense in the last 2 kilometres here.
After all the work that have been done, you can see Globe now moving to close the gap, and I think that might be Landa who's gone backwards there. One of the riders from Bahrain victorious has suddenly gone backwards, and Aramburu trying to have to come around him. You can see that Vlasov sits on the wheel now of the yellow jersey.
Yeah, I think it was Caruso that kind of stepped out there. Landa's still there.
Landa's there.
Where's
Bilbao?
Behind.
Bilbao is behind the yellow jersey. Yeah. There we go. 1.5 kilometres to go. Still Laurens de Plus. Theo Gegenhardt is next. Charmig still has 1 man remaining. And there's the yellow jersey, all on his own here now, Giulio Ciccone. He's got Kenny Elissonde right at the back of the group. Caruso, who you spotted going backwards there, Brian, is right at the back of this group. And
yeah, it was clear that just he never decided to move. I think if he had teammates, strong enough teammates to bring him up towards the front, he would have been there. And I think he has to kind of move up a little bit now. But when Laurens de Plus is doing this, very difficult to move up at all. So you're hoping that they'll just ease a little bit. But I tell you what, if Elise is here, which he is, for UAE, he's another big danger for potentially taking the stage.
Quick chat there between Gegenhardt and Rodriguez. Rodriguez is on the radio. He's moved into 2nd position here. I've got one of the riders from X moving up to the front. For now, we're approaching the final kilometre, and I think we're in the last throws there of Laurens de Plus, who finishes.
Yeah, I think this is Torsten Train now, 1 kilometre to go. So Torsten Train is there with Rodriguez, and I think it's a good move. I think they are going with Theo Gegenhardt in this one.
Gegenhardt, who sits behind the Spanish champion, his teammate Rodriguez. Now Vlasov is going to start to be moved up. Bilbao is going to follow him. Aramburu is still there. They've got to be careful with the Basque sprinter from Movistar. He is having quite the start to the season. Remember, Movistar more top tens than anyone. They had several again yesterday. They're looking for what would be a huge win here against some very big general classification company. Rui Costa's in there, Thomas Gloag. And now Landa sits a little further up as well. Look out for Chadmik in the white jersey, the best young rider. McNulty's in the mix here as well. There's a whole host of riders as we're approaching the final 500 metres. And this is how many riders forecasted it today. A sprint from a reduced bunch with 10, 6 and 4 bonus seconds available. Remember, just 4 seconds separate the top 3 in this race as well. And the yellow jersey, winner of the stage the other day, is going to have to be in the mix if he wants to hold on to the lead. That's Giulio Ciccone. He moves up on the top centre of your picture now, left-hand side, and he's following the man with the number 1 on his back, the defending champion, Alexander Vlasov. This is now Rodriguez, the Spanish champion. Teo Gegenhardt is just behind him, and he's the best placed rider in the general classification at the moment for Ineos Grenadiers at 10 seconds from the race lead. Just a few hundred metres remain now, and we're almost on the finish here. It's going to be at the sprint at the top of the mountain on day 4, the final mountain of the Tour of Valencia. Landa waits, Landa keeping his power to dry for now. Nobody able to get beyond the power of Carlos Rodriguez for the minute, but it's about to be launched because there are riders getting out the saddle. Here goes Teo Gegenhardt now with 300 metres to go. It's a lead out at the top of the mountain. Sprint trains for climbers here with Rodriguez, and you can see now the yellow jersey moves up. 200 metres to go. Left-hand turn, but Giulio Ciccone is well out of position here. Vlasov moving as well, and here goes Teo Gegenhardt to the front. Gegenhardt is there with Gloag trying to come around, but look at the power of Gegenhardt. He has a gap here. Final turn to the right-hand side. Teo Gegenhardt going for the line and wins for the Ineos Grenadiers. Third place, though, going to Giulio Ciccone. He takes the bonus seconds, holds on the yellow jersey, but the stage win goes to Teo Gegenhardt of the Ineos Grenadiers. Super stage win, and it was like watching a sprint train there from Ineos Grenadiers.
It was just so fast there. I'm so glad for Teo. The other day there he made efforts, he was trying to help Carlos Rodriguez, but well, that was some lead out. They couldn't move up. Ineos Grenadiers had total control of that. Carlos Rodriguez with that kind of final effort. Everybody was on hands and knees, and it's who had enough strength left in the legs to deliver. And Teo made it look easy, just as Ciccone made it look easy in the first. He'll be ruining the fact that he got relegated the other day now when he finished second, because I think he would be in the race lead now. But you don't look at that, you take the stage win. But I tell you what, Thomas Gloag, he was second. Brits 1 and 2 with as you said, Ciccone coming in third there, with Vlasov taking no bonuses in 4th place. So what a finish that was, and it's still going to be close at the top.
The Giro d'Italia winner gets just a 6th career victory, and his first since riding into the square in Milan and pulling on the pink jersey. From 2020 to 2023, all the pressure on him. This will feel fantastic for Teo Gegenhardt. He will feel he's back. The man on the right in the yellow and black will feel he's arrived. It's Gegenhardt from Gloag, and Giulio Ciccone might just feel that he's on the verge of winning a first ever stage race. It's Gegenhardt, it's Gloag, and just about Ciccone. That'll feel good.
Nice moment, but you have to say that we saw that in stage 2, that Teo was the stronger of the two, and I'm glad that he got that opportunity there.
After no wins since October 2020, it's next to the Holy Cave at the top of the mountains, where there's divine intervention for Teo Gegenhardt. That's a huge victory for him.
But it's the way they took it as well, Rob. The fact that they took it on from the front. Just look at where Ciccone was. Ciccone is, you know, in the middle. Going down to this kind of technical finish, you really want to be as close as possible. So he's what, 5-6 bike lengths behind Tail. And when Tail goes, look at the distance he has to try and make up. He's probably going as quick as Tail, but the thing is he didn't have the team to lead him out like he did. Castroviejo, De Plus, you know, with Rodriguez at the end, that made the difference. That made it a hell of a lot easier. Of course you have to finish it off, and he finished it off in style, just like Ciccone did in stage 2, but what a great finish that was. Good win for Tail. We saw he was stronger than Carlos Rodriguez the other day, and I'm glad they gave him that opportunity, but others just a little bit too far back, didn't have the same team, didn't have the same strength as Ineos there, and that made the big difference.
Quite a few headlines at the top of the mountain. Teo has taken it. Geoghegan Hart back with a victory for the first time since 2020. But big news for Thomas Gloag, at 21 years of age, just a few weeks as a professional, and a second place in quite the company. And also, Giulio Ciccone. We knew that the bonus seconds were going to be important, and that little movement in front of Vlasov, moving up from 4th to 3rd, could well have just won him the race.
Yeah, he'll have 4 seconds in front of Teo Geoghegan Hart. I don't think there's too many other splits, so that there'll still be a few riders within a few seconds of each other at the top of the general classification. We know that Teo would be leading if he hadn't been relegated the other day, but you can't think of that. You just have to go into tomorrow. He's got his win. I just think it could be rather more interesting tomorrow. We do have, just looking at it now, just the one Meta Volante before the sprint finish. I think it's going to be very difficult to take any seconds back, so it does look as if Ciccone is in the box seat here to win the overall.
Teo Geoghegan Hart wins stage 4 to the Cueva Santa. He's beaten Thomas Gloag and Giulio Ciccone. Last year's overall winner Vlasov in 4th place and just missing out on the bonuses. And that's what it does to the general classification. Giulio Ciccone leads by 4 seconds. Brian Smith's got his maths right. Teo Geoghegan Hart in 2nd. Pello Bilbao is now in 3rd. Vlasov at 4th place, Gloag at 8 seconds as well, with Costa, Landa and Aramburu still up there as well. Top 10 for him in this particular race, in this company, is still a very, very good result. It's in the hills of Sierra Calderona and the Valencian community where Teo Geoghegan Hart refines the form of the Alps and the Dolomites that won him the Giro d'Italia in 2020. He's right back, and he's taken a first victory since 2020. Stage 4 finish like this with Teo Geoghegan Hart beating fellow British rider Thomas Gloag to the line in a mountaintop sprint finish. Giulio Ciccone crucially in the yellow jersey taking 3rd and 4 bonus seconds. Vlasov in 4th and Landa in 5th on the day. Doing to the general classification exactly this. Giulio Ciccone now leading by 4 seconds going into the final stage. 7 ahead of Bilbao, 8 in front of Vlasov and Gloag, with Costa, Landa, Aramburu, Charmig and Rodriguez all in the top 10. And the top 10 separated by just 20 seconds with an expected sprint to come in Valencia, but